Chosen one. Heaven has held its breath waiting for this very moment, waiting for you to pause long enough to hear what is being released over your life right now. You are not reading this by accident. You are not here by coincidence. Something in the unseen realm shifted the moment your spirit whispered, yes. And the angels, yes. The ones assigned to your destiny have already begun to move because obedience was found in you. You feel it, don't you? That quiet trembling in your spirit, that pressure in your chest, that isn't fear but awakening. Something ancient, something divine. Something that whispers, you have stepped into the territory God marked for you before you even took your first breath. Listen to me. Chosen one, when obedience rises in you, heaven responds instantly. Not eventually, not someday, instantly. The moment you aligned yourself with what God has been nudging you toward, the supernatural gears began turning, and the angels that once only observed are now walking, flying, fighting, and shifting on your behalf. Your yes is not ordinary. Your yes is a signal, a spiritual announcement, a roar in the unseen realm that darkness heard, heaven heard, and your angels heard. And the moment your yes left your spirit, assignments were activated. You've wondered why things felt heavy, why resistance suddenly rose, why the path seemed to fight back right when you tried to move forward. It is because obedience stirs activity in the invisible realm, and movement in the invisible realm provokes warfare. But hear me, you are not losing. You are not behind. You are not overwhelmed. The angels are already ahead of you, clearing paths you don't even see yet. Right now, in this exact moment, you stand in a doorway you were never meant to miss. Heaven has synchronized your steps. God has aligned your timing. Obedience has placed you in the center of divine orchestration. And in this sacred pause, you begin to sense the weight of heaven leaning toward you, urging you not to retreat, not to doubt the shift happening within. The atmosphere around you thickens with purpose, and every silent whisper inside confirms that this moment is undeniably orchestrated for your awakening. You feel the invisible hands guiding you, steadying your heart, reminding you that obedience has never been about perfection, but surrender. Even now, unseen doors respond to your willingness, vibrating with divine anticipation. Your spirit stretches, recognizing that what comes next requires boldness, clarity, and a readiness you didn't know you carried. Heaven watches your next step with expectation. Because chosen ones do not move casually, they move prophetically. Every breath you take in this moment carries alignment. Every thought becomes intentional, and deep within, a holy confidence rises, urging you to trust what you cannot see but can undeniably feel pulling you forward. Something ancient within you wakes up, remembering battles you survived and victories you didn't even know heaven assigned to you. You begin to see that nothing was wasted. No pain, ignoreth. Everything has led to this convergence point where obedience becomes the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. The angels positioned around you lean closer, ready to move at the next sound of your surrender. Your yes echoes louder now, shaking off hesitation and calling forth clarity. You stand not just in a doorway, but in a divine invitation, one that demands courage, commitment, and the full awakening of your calling. Chosen one. Heaven speaks through ancient words that still breathe power today. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 6, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight as you follow his leading. And that is exactly what is happening. Your obedience has straightened paths that have been crooked for years. What was confusing is becoming clear. What was blocked is opening. What felt delayed is accelerating, not because you forced it, but because angels are now moving on your behalf. This moment is divine. This moment is marked. This moment is a shift in your story. But hear this carefully. When heaven moves, you cannot hesitate. When the angels respond, you must stay aligned. This is not the time to blend into the crowd. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to question your calling. You are chosen, and chosen ones never walk alone. If this message is touching your spirit, honor it, seal it, step into it with boldness. And if you haven't already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because you cannot afford to miss what heaven is about to release over your life next. Every word in this season matters. And now, chosen one, if something inside you is saying, "This is for me," declare your agreement in the comments with the prophetic number 777. You move forward from that awakening, chosen one. And as you do, the atmosphere around you sharpens. You begin to sense the subtle tremors of the invisible realm shifting in response to your obedience. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is quiet, yet powerful enough to rearrange the direction of your entire life. You can feel it like a whisper brushing against your spirit, a gentle pull reminding you that heaven is not silent. And you are not walking this path alone. There is movement you cannot see with your natural eyes. The air feels heavier at times, almost charged, as though something ancient and righteous is walking beside you. Your steps feel guided, calibrated, escorted by forces you were never taught to recognize, but have always been connected to. You are beginning to understand that obedience did not just activate angels, it awakened a spiritual frequency that only the chosen can sense. And in this moment, you realize something profound. The invisible realm has always been more real than the physical world pressing against you. The whispers you sense are not random. They are not imagination. They are not emotion. They are heavenly signals aligning you with the exact path God designed for you before your first breath was ever taken. But the whispers of heaven do not always come as sentences. Sometimes they come as an inner knowing, a deep peace, a sudden clarity, or an unshakable conviction that interrupts your overthinking and calls you higher. Sometimes they come as discomfort, pushing you away from situations no longer aligned with your destiny. And other times, they come as stillness, God's gentle way of saying, "Listen, something holy is approaching." And the Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 3, "Call to me, and I will answer you, and show you great and mighty things you do not know." You feel a drawing, almost like heaven is teaching you a new language, one not spoken with words, but with impressions, sensations, and spiritual awareness. It is not always comfortable because it forces you to trust what you cannot prove and believe what you cannot calculate. But chosen ones are never trained through logic. They are trained through spiritual sensitivity. You begin to notice patterns, moments where your spirit tenses before something goes wrong, Moments where your chest warms, when you are stepping in the right direction. Moments where everything inside you signals. Pay attention. Heaven is speaking. Lesh, the whispers grow clearer, the more obedient you become. You realize that heaven never stopped speaking. Your spirit simply wasn't still enough to listen. But now, everything is different. Your alignment has sharpened your hearing. Your obedience has awakened your discernment. You can sense the slightest shifts, the subtlest warnings, the faintest signals from heaven, and you understand something sacred. Before God changes your life externally, He heightens your hearing internally. Before He opens a door, He trains your spirit to notice the path. Before the blessing arrives, the whisper arrives. Your entire journey now feels like a guided path, not forced, not rushed, just divinely paced. Even the pauses feel intentional. Even the silence feels purposeful. And though you may not see angels with your eyes, you feel their nearness, their movement, their alignment. The invisible realm is not distant, it is active around you. Whispers come when heaven wants you to lean in. Whispers come when clarity is too sacred for noise. Whispers come when what God is revealing is meant only for those who obey. And that is why you hear them now, because obedience opened your ears. You begin to sense when something is wrong, even before it happens. Your spirit pulls back from certain conversations, certain environments, certain people, sometimes without explanation. You don't always understand why in the moment, but heaven never asks you to understand before obeying. Only later do you realize the whispers protected you from traps, delays, and spiritual entanglements that could have suffocated your purpose. Other times, the whispers draw you in toward new connections, new opportunities, new directions that you would have overlooked had heaven not breathed on your awareness. What once felt random now feels orchestrated. What once felt confusing now feels intentional. What once felt silent now feels alive. You are beginning to walk, not by sight, but by spiritual sensitivity, something only the chosen can carry. And with every step, the whispers grow clearer, more precise, more familiar. Because the more you obey, the louder heaven becomes. The angels move when you move. They pause when you hesitate. They advance when you align. And right now, they are leaning in, waiting for your next step, not in pressure, but in partnership, not in demand, but in divine orchestration, not because they serve you, but because they serve the God who has called you. And this is only the beginning of what you will hear. You feel the whispers growing clearer. Chosen one. Yet with that clarity comes something you did not expect. The realization that half obedience nearly cost you everything. It is not easy to admit, but heaven requires honesty, not perfection. And as you look back, you begin to see the moments where God nudged you, pulled you, whispered to you, yet you delayed. You hesitated. You compromised. You obeyed, but only enough to feel spiritual, not enough to shift destiny. Half obedience is still disobedience, and your spirit knows this truth deeply. You remember the times you felt a clear tug in your heart, but pushed it aside because it was inconvenient, uncomfortable, or unfamiliar. You remember sensing danger before stepping into certain conversations, but you ignored the tightening feeling in your chest. You recall moments when God told you to walk away, but you waited, hoping the situation would magically fix itself. and you remember how those choices led to pain, delay, and unnecessary battles. But hear this with the weight of heaven. You are not being condemned, you are being awakened. Half obedience was the old you, the version of yourself that didn't know angels were waiting for your yes. The version that didn't understand how spiritual alignment works. The version that didn't realize that hesitation invites warfare. But, obédience, invite, protection. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 5. If you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, then you shall be my treasured possession among all peoples. You begin to understand that every delay you experienced was not because God was withholding blessings, it was because obedience was incomplete. Heaven could not release what your spirit was not positioned to carry. Even the angels assigned to you could not move with full authority because your yes was still fractured. But this realization does not crush you, it frees you. It gives you clarity. It helps you understand why certain doors didn't open, why certain relationships didn't flourish, why certain opportunities slipped away. The enemy did not steal them, your hesitation delayed them. Yet even in your delay, God's mercy protected you. Angels stood guard over places where you should have fallen. Divine intervention rerouted consequences that could have destroyed you. Your half-obedience didn't cancel your calling, but it did slow your ascent. Still, heaven says, not anymore. Something has shifted in you. You feel the difference. There is a new strength rising in your decisions, a new clarity in your spirit, a new boldness in your actions. The hesitation that once controlled you is losing its grip. Your spirit is being trained to react quickly, respond immediately, and obey completely. You begin to notice how your discernment sharpens every time you obey instantly. Doors open faster, peace comes quicker, revelation flows freely. Your steps feel lighter because heaven is no longer waiting for your agreement. You are giving it without negotiation. Half obedience used to drain you. Full obedience now elevates you. You used to wrestle with God. Now you walk with Him. You used to question every instruction. Now you recognize that obedience is not loss, it is protection, acceleration, and alignment. And you begin to feel a holy seriousness in your spirit, a weight of responsibility that doesn't feel heavy, but purposeful. You realize that obedience is not just about your life, it affects the generations after you, the people assigned to you, the same angels moving on your behalf, and the destiny marked with your name. This is why heaven is dealing with your hesitation. This is why the Spirit is confronting your delays. This is why the truth feels sharper in this season. Because God refuses to let you sabotage what He ordained for you. And now, chosen one, heaven asks something simple of you. Not as a ritual, not as a gimmick, but as an act of acknowledgement that you understand this moment. Please comment, I obey. Not because the words themselves hold power, but because obedience begins with agreement. When you write it, you seal it. When you declare it, you align with it. When you express it, heaven bears witness. This declaration becomes your first step of full obedience in this new season. Quick, humble, surrendered, and clear. The days of half obedience are over. The days of hesitation are gone. The days of broken alignment have ended. You now walk as one who obeys quickly, moves decisively, and listens attentively. And because of that, the angels move with you, not after you, not behind you, but with you. This is your turning point. Chosen one, your obedience has matured, your discernment has awakened, your destiny has accelerated, and heaven is watching with anticipation for your next step. You move deeper into this awakening. Chosen one. And suddenly you begin to see what obedience has truly done. It has broken chains that were older than you, heavier than you, and stronger than anything you could have overcome in your own strength. These chains did not come from your mistakes alone. They were patterns woven through generations, attitudes inherited unknowingly, fears absorbed by proximity, cycles passed down like silent shadows. But one act of obedience has the power to sever what years of effort could not. You feel something loosening inside you, something you didn't even realize had gripped you for so long. It is subtle at first, like a pressure lifting, a fog thinning, a weight melting, but soon it becomes undeniable. You sense that something ancient has snapped off your spirit, something that was determined to keep you repeating the same battles, the same circles, the same internal wars. This is why the resistance was so strong when you tried to obey. Darkness was not fighting your decision, it was fighting what your decision would break. You begin to understand that being chosen means your victories are not merely for you. When you step into obedience, you are stepping into generational territory. You are confronting what defeated those before you. You are breaking what tried to claim ownership over your bloodline. You are ending what others endured. You are severing chains that whispered, "This is just how you are. This is how your family will always be." No one escapes this. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 6, "Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the chains of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, to let the oppressed go free, and that you break every yoke?" This is what obedience has triggered in your life, a divine breaking. You can sense it in places you once felt stuck. Habits that used to hold you no longer feel natural. Temptations that once called your name now feel distant, almost powerless. Emotional wounds you carried for years are beginning to close. Thought patterns that used to dominate you suddenly feel foreign, as though they belong to someone else, not the version of you emerging now. And with every chain that falls, you feel your identity being restored. Chosen one. Breaking chains is not only spiritual, it is generational. When you obeyed, heaven wrote a new chapter over your family line. What plagued others will not plague you. What controlled others will not control you. What defeated others will not defeat you. You are becoming the interruption, the turning point, the first one to rise above what was considered normal. And you carry a mantle that others did not have, not because you are better, but because you were chosen for this very work. And you are beginning to understand why your life felt heavier, why your battles felt harder, why you went through things others seemed untouched by. You weren't weak, you were targeted. You weren't slow, you were under pressure. You weren't behind, you were being trained. Because those who break chains carry a different kind of warfare, a different kind of discipline, a different kind of destiny. But now, something profound is happening. The chains once wrapped around you are now becoming the chains you step over. What once intimidated you now bows beneath you. What once silenced you now strengthens you. What once defined you no longer fits the person you are becoming. You begin to feel clarity rising inside you, clarity about who you are, clarity about what is no longer allowed in your life, clarity about what must be released and what must be embraced. The confusion that clouded your mind begins to dissolve, because chains cannot stay attached to someone walking in alignment. Your spirit is becoming lighter, sharper, and more awake. You begin to move differently, not with fear, but with authority, not with hesitation, but with conviction, not with doubt, but with certainty that heaven has already approved your steps. And the chains, they fall one by one, quietly, softly, deliberately. Chains of fear, chains of shame, chains of generational patterns, chains of self-sabotage, chains of insecurity, chains of trauma, chains of spiritual blindness, chains of emotional cycles, all breaking, all dissolving, all losing their grip. You do not force them off. They fall off naturally because your spirit has elevated beyond their reach. You are stepping into a version of yourself that chains cannot cling to. You are rising to a frequency where bondage cannot follow. You are walking into a season where what once held you has no legal right to stay. As you continue walking in the freedom that obedience has unlocked, chosen one, something sacred begins to unfold above you, something you cannot see with your physical eyes. Yet your spirit feels it as surely as you feel the rise and fall of your own breath. Heaven is recording your surrender, not in cold ink or ancient symbols carved on stone, but in living light etched into the eternal archives of your destiny. Every moment you said yes, even trembling, every time you obeyed, even uncertain, every quiet decision you made in the shadows where no one applauded you. Heaven saw it. Heaven valued it. Heaven wrote it down. Your surrender is not small. It is not overlooked. It is not forgotten. The ancient writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 56, verse 8 declare, "You have collected all my tears in your bottle and recorded each one in your book." Heaven keeps record. Heaven pays attention. Heaven remembers. You begin to realize that your surrender is not just an action, it is a fragrance. Like incense rising from a quiet room, your obedience fills the atmosphere of the spiritual realm. Angels respond to it. God honors it. The heavens record it like a sacred melody. Only the chosen understand. And as your surrender rises, you start to understand why heaven is so moved by it. Obedience costs something. It always has. It always will. People may see your smile, but heaven sees the sacrifices behind it. People may see your strength, but heaven sees the nights you cried and still chose to trust. People may see your progress, but heaven sees the battles you fought silently just to make one small step forward. Your surrender is a seed, a torch, a signature, a covenant. It is the moment you lay down your old ways and step into divine alignment. And heaven never lets a sacrifice go unnoticed. As you walk, you sense the weight of this record-keeping, not in a burdensome way, but in an honoring way. You feel as though heaven is building something with every yes you give, layer by layer, choice by choice, moment by moment, like a sculptor shaping stone. Your surrender chisels your destiny into form. It gives shape to your future. It defines the edges of your calling. Heaven does not just write your surrender in books, heaven builds with it. Some records mark your turning points. Others mark your breakthroughs. Others mark your escapes from traps you didn't even know were set for you. And some entries, they're written in gold, because they mark the days you obeyed, even when obedience broke you open. And yet every sacrifice becomes a seed. Heaven multiplies. You start to feel the beauty of this truth unfolding in you, like a morning sun rising slowly behind mountains. You begin to realize that your journey is not random, that your pain was not wasted, that your yes is shaping something eternal. And in this moment, I need you to hear me gently, but clearly. Chosen one, as heaven records what you surrender, earth records what you plant. This space, these messages, to this journey, you and I walk together. It is like a well built for the thirsty, a shelter built for the weary, a torch carried through dark seasons. And if these words have ever strengthened you, lifted you, awakened you, or reminded you of who you are, then consider sowing back into the very well that pours into you, not out of pressure, not out of guilt, not out of obligation, but the same way a gardener waters the tree that gives him shade because he wants it to keep growing, because he knows it feeds many, because he knows the fruit it produces is worth preserving. So, if you feel led, if your spirit agrees, if this work has touched your life in any way, you can like, share, subscribe, or even donate to help keep this message alive for others who are still in the dark, still searching, still battling chains you have already broken. Your support, small or great, becomes part of the story heaven records too. It becomes part of the light that goes out to others. It becomes part of the harvest of changed lives. But hear me, whether you donate or not, your value here does not change. You are honored, you are seen, you are welcomed, you are chosen. This journey continues because you continue, and heaven continues recording every step you take. Your surrender is building something eternal, and heaven is writing it all down. You begin noticing it slowly at first. Chosen one, subtle movements, small shifts, gentle confirmations that feel almost too precise to be coincidence. But the more you pay attention, the more undeniable it becomes. Signs are beginning to manifest around you, not dramatic flashes, not thunder from heaven, but quiet markers that whisper, heaven is moving, stay aligned. It happens in the way certain thoughts enter your mind at the exact right moment, thoughts you know you didn't manufacture yourself. It happens in conversations where someone unknowingly confirms what God has been nudging your spirit about. It happens in opportunities that seem to slide toward you without effort, as though invisible hands are arranging them behind the scenes. And then there are the moments of divine timing, the right person calling at the exact right hour, the door opening at the precise moment you were ready to give up, the path lighting up when all you could see a day ago was fog and uncertainty. This is not random. This is not accidental. These are signs, evidence of angelic movement set in motion by your obedience. You begin to understand that heaven communicates long before heaven reveals. Signs are God's way of saying, pay attention. You are not alone. I am guiding you. The more you obey, the more you see them, the more you stay aligned, the more they multiply, and deep inside, a gentle awe begins forming. You realize that God has been speaking through signs your entire life. You were simply too overwhelmed, too distracted, too burdened to notice them. But now your spirit is sharper. Now your awareness is awakened. Now the veil is thinning, and you can sense the supernatural movement with clarity you've never carried before. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 30, 1, verse 8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. End of teen. You are seeing proof of this now. The signs are not random, they are relational. They do not appear to confuse you, they appear to direct you. They are heaven's way of saying, I am ahead of you. Walk with confidence. Lo, some signs come as peace sudden. Overwhelming peace that settles over your heart like a gentle blanket, silencing the noise around you. Other signs come through repeated patterns, words you keep hearing. Scriptures that surface multiple times. Themes that echo through conversations you didn't plan. Sometimes the sign is simply that the thing you were anxious about no longer carries the same weight on your chest. And at times, the signs are disruptive. Heaven will close doors you tried to force open. Heaven will remove people you kept trying to keep. Heaven will block paths that would have drained you. These signs may sting. They may feel like loss. But they are protection disguised as redirection. You begin to realize that signs are not always comfortable. They are often corrective. And chosen ones are trained to read both the gentle confirmations and the stern warnings with equal sensitivity. The angels assigned to you are not silent in this season. They are arranging circumstances, shifting atmospheres, rerouting danger, highlighting truth, and dimming distractions. You feel their work in the way life begins to feel guided. Even when it is not smooth, you sense their presence in the way clarity breaks through at the exact moment confusion tries to settle in. Signs manifest when heaven is positioning you. Signs multiply when destiny accelerates. Signs become louder when your spirit matures. And that is why this season feels different. Because you are different. Your spirit is becoming fluent in heavenly communication. Your discernment is evolving. Your awareness is awakening. And you begin to realize something profound. The signs were always there. Your surrender simply sharpened your vision. You start noticing divine alignment in the smallest details. A message you needed at the exact moment your faith was wobbling. A door closing before you walked into something disastrous. A conversation that reminded you of your worth when you were questioning your identity. A sudden release of clarity after days of confusion. A wave of strength rising inside you during moments you should have felt weakest. These are not coincidences. These are breadcrumbs from heaven. These are the fingerprints of angelic movement. These are early echoes of breakthrough. And now, chosen one. The question is not whether signs are manifesting. They are. The real question is whether you will acknowledge them. Heaven responds to recognition. What you honor multiplies. What you ignore diminishes. So today, seal this moment by acknowledging what your spirit already knows that heaven is speaking and you are hearing. As a prophetic act of agreement, comment the number 444 below, not for superstition, not for ritual, but as a declaration that you see the signs, you honor the signs, and you are ready for the next step. Heaven is preparing for you. The signs are here. Chosen one. And they are only the beginning. The more the signs manifest around you, chosen one, the more something else becomes clear, something darker, something sharper, something that feels like pressure pushing against your progress. It is not your imagination. It is not random turbulence. It is the enemy reacting violently to what heaven has already begun on your behalf. You can almost sense the shift, the atmosphere tightening the moment you step forward in obedience. Resistance appearing in places that were once calm. Distractions multiplying. Old temptations resurfacing. Unexpected conflicts rising out of nowhere. Emotional weights pressing down on you at times when you should feel the most free. These are not signs of failure, they are signs of movement. The enemy does not fight what is stagnant. He fights what is rising. Your obedience has awakened angelic activity. Yes, but it has also triggered panic in the camp of darkness. Every chain you broke sent shockwaves into the spiritual realm. Every step you took disrupted patterns that once kept you trapped. Every decision you made in alignment with God tore down a structure the enemy spent years trying to build around you. And so the reaction comes swift, intense, targeted, but chosen one. Hear this deeply. The enemy is not attacking you because you are weak. He is attacking you because you are dangerous. Your awakening is dangerous. Your clarity is dangerous. Your obedience is dangerous. Your freedom is dangerous. Your angelic assistance is dangerous. You are stepping into a version of yourself that darkness cannot predict and cannot control. You begin to notice the way warfare rises at strategic moments, right after breakthroughs, right before open doors, right when you begin to feel stable. It's not random, it's retaliation. The enemy is trying to discourage you before the blessing manifests, distract you before the revelation settles, weaken you before the acceleration begins. But chosen ones do not collapse under pressure, they sharpen under it. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4, "The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds." This is why the enemy's reaction cannot stop you. Your weapons are not natural. Your strength is not human. Your protection is not earthly. Your help is not weak. You fight with revelation. You fight with alignment. You fight with obedience. You fight with the presence of God and the activity of angels surrounding you. And though the enemy rises violently, his rise is proof of your rise. He is not fighting your past, he is fighting your future. He is not fighting your weaknesses, he is fighting your assignment. He is not fighting your confusion, he is fighting your clarity. He is not fighting your history, he is fighting your destiny. You begin to realize that the warfare intensifies not when you are losing, but when you are close. The closer you move toward what heaven has prepared, the more the enemy scrambles to distract, confuse, or slow you down. Sometimes the attack comes through people suddenly misunderstanding you. Sometimes it comes through emotional heaviness that seems to have no explanation. Sometimes it comes through unexpected setbacks. Sometimes it comes through inner turmoil that tries to resurrect old wounds. Sometimes it comes in the form of isolation, the sense that no one sees what you're carrying. But even this isolation is strategic. For chosen ones are often separated before they are elevated. The enemy hopes isolation will break you, but heaven uses it to build you. And while darkness tries to intimidate, heaven strengthens. While the enemy shouts lies, God whispers truth. While chaos grows louder, discernment grows sharper. Because you are not who you used to be. You no longer fall for the traps that once caught you. You no longer believe the lies that once shaped you. You no longer fold under pressure the way you once did. The enemy reacts violently. Yes, but you respond righteously. Your obedience is becoming your shield. Your surrender is becoming your strategy. Your spiritual sensitivity is becoming your defense. And the angels assigned to you are not standing still. They are not merely observing warfare, they are engaged in it. You feel their presence in the way certain attacks lose momentum before they reach you. You feel their movement in the way confusion lifts suddenly. You sense their protection in the way traps fall apart before you step into them. The enemy reacts violently because heaven is moving forcefully. There is a spiritual collision taking place around you, light advancing, darkness retreating, chains breaking, paths opening, destinies shifting, and you are in the center of it, not as a victim, but as a vessel marked by God. As the warfare rises around you, something unexpected begins to surface, not from outside, but from within. It does not come with noise, nor with flashes of brilliance, but with a deep, steady awareness that has been quietly forming beneath every battle you've walked through. You begin to sense your mantle, not the one shaped by titles or achievements, but the divine mantle heaven placed on your spirit long before you understood its weight. It rises like a memory your soul somehow always knew, but your mind is only now catching up to. It grows stronger with each moment of clarity, each act of obedience, each chain that breaks off your life. And as it rises, you start recognizing traits in yourself that were always hints of a calling far bigger than anything you imagined. You notice how your presence shifts atmospheres, how your words pierce deeper when you speak from your spirit rather than your fear, how people confide in you without understanding why, how you discern motives long before intentions are revealed, how your heart breaks for what others ignore, how you sense danger before it manifests, how you carry peace into storms that should have swallowed you. These are not personality quirks. These are signatures of the mantle you carry. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Samuel in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. No, and heaven has always seen your heart, not the broken pieces, not the battle scars, but the part of you designed for impact, for intercession, for leadership, for spiritual authority. The mantle you carry is not something you choose. It chooses you. It marks you. It demands a different kind of journey, a different kind of sensitivity, a different kind of discipline. You begin to understand why your life could never look like anyone else's, why you were called out of certain crowds, why you could not blend in no matter how hard you tried, why your heart always felt things deeply, intensely, unexplainably, why your spirit never settled for mediocrity or spiritual numbness. Your mantle required separation. Your mantle required pruning. Your mantle required breaking. Your mantle required obedience. And now it reveals itself because you have crossed the threshold where God no longer has to hide it from you for your protection. You are becoming mature enough to carry what once would have crushed you. You start recognizing that your victories were never just personal, they were training. The battles that nearly broke you were not punishments, they were preparation. Each season was shaping you in ways you didn't understand. The loneliness shaped your discernment. The heartbreak shaped your compassion. The delays shaped your patience. The disappointments shaped your humility. The warfare shaped your authority. The brokenness shaped your depth, and the obedience shaped your identity. Your mantle is forged in the very places you thought would destroy you. And now, the same experiences that wounded you are the very ones that give you spiritual weight. You begin to feel the mantle resting on you differently now. Where you once felt small, now you feel steady. Where you once felt unqualified, now you feel chosen. Where you once doubted your voice, now you feel its power. It isn't arrogance, it's awareness. A quiet knowing that your spirit has stepped into alignment with its assignment. And with this awareness comes responsibility, not pressure, but purpose. You sense heaven entrusting you with insight you never carried before. You feel a new level of compassion that flows from a place deeper than emotion. Your thoughts sharpen. Your instincts strengthen. Your discernment becomes precise. You no longer react the same way you used to. You no longer fear what once intimidated you. You no longer bend under the opinions of others. You no longer apologize for your sensitivity. You no longer hide your calling. Because mantles are not meant to be hidden, they are meant to be carried. And though you may not see it fully yet, others can. They notice the shift in your posture, the authority in your tone, the light in your eyes. People begin coming to you for guidance, for clarity, for strength, not because you're perfect, but because your mantle is speaking louder than your insecurities. Your mantle reveals your lineage, the heavenly lineage you belong to. It reveals your assignment. It reveals your authority. It reveals your place in the divine storyline. It reveals who you were always meant to be. This is why certain attacks never made sense until now. This is why certain people were threatened by you. This is why darkness targeted you early. This is why your spirit was restless in places where others felt comfortable. Your mantle was calling you out, calling you higher, calling you deeper, calling you forward. As your mantle settles over you, with increasing clarity, chosen one, something begins to happen around you that you cannot deny. Movement, not human movement, not the shifting of circumstances by coincidence, but angelic movement. You can feel the path in front of you becoming clearer, lighter, more aligned, as if invisible hands are sweeping away debris that once slowed your steps. Obstacles that used to intimidate you now seem strangely fragile. Complications you expected to deal with suddenly dissolve. Conversations you feared go smoother than imagined. Situations that once demanded all your strength now open effortlessly, like doors that were waiting for you to simply approach. This is not luck. This is not timing. This is not personal effort. This is angelic intervention, angels clearing the path before you, removing what does not belong, dismantling traps, exposing hidden dangers, and aligning opportunities that match your divine assignment. You can almost feel the pressure of their presence in the atmosphere around you. There is a new ease in your steps, a quiet confidence rising in your chest, a sense that you are no longer navigating this journey alone. Where confusion once clouded you, now clarity breaks through like sunlight. Where obstacles once overwhelmed you, now they crumble at the slightest touch of heaven's hand. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 31, declare, if God is for us, who can truly stand and rise against those whom the Lord himself protects? And now you're seeing this truth play out in real time. Heaven is for you. Angels are ahead of you. The path is being cleared because your destiny requires momentum, not stagnation. You begin to notice divine patterns unfolding, doors opening at the exact right moment. resources appearing the moment you commit, opportunities aligning with your calling in ways too precise to be random. Even the resistance you once feared becomes a sign that something powerful is coming. Where there is divine movement, there is angelic preparation. Some obstacles are removed quietly, without drama. You simply wake up one day and realize the thing that once felt impossible is no longer even present. Some obstacles are removed. Suddenly doors slam shut before you can enter. Conversations end abruptly. Connections fall apart overnight. It feels painful at first, but heaven is protecting you from paths that would have harmed your spirit. And some obstacles are removed. Visibly, a situation breaks open. A truth comes to light. A revelation confronts you with clarity you can no longer ignore. But in all of it, you sense one thing clearly. Something greater than you is clearing the way for you. Chosen one. This is what obedience makes possible. Not just insight, not just spiritual awakening, but divine accompaniment. Heaven does not send you into battle alone. Heaven walks ahead of you, beside you, and behind you. What you feel now is the result of heavenly alignment, finally matching the alignment inside your spirit. You sense angels clearing away the people who drained you, the distractions that slowed you, the doubts that haunted you, the cycles that trapped you, the delays that suffocated you, the fears that kept you small. You also sense angels preparing the places you are being called to. They are softening hearts you will speak to. They are arranging opportunities you will step into. They are guiding conversations you will soon have. They are positioning resources you will need. They are illuminating pathways that would have remained hidden without their intervention. Your path is becoming straight, not because life is easier, but because your spirit is aligned with heaven's timing. You are walking into territory heaven already prepared. And now, as you take each step, it becomes clearer that nothing can block what God has ordained. Not fear, not people, not confusion, not spiritual warfare, not even your past. You feel protected. You feel strengthened. You feel escorted. And though you may not see them with your eyes, you feel the presence of angels clearing the path with every step you take, silent, strategic, unwavering. And now, chosen one. Heaven asks something simple of you, a declaration that you recognize this divine clearing, that you feel it, that you honor it. Please comment, "I rise," below. Not because the phrase itself holds magic, but because agreement activates acceleration. When you write it, you acknowledge what heaven is doing. You step into alignment with the path being cleared before you. You say, "I am ready for what God has prepared." Your path is open now. Walk it with confidence. As the angels continue clearing the path ahead of you, chosen one, something extraordinary begins to unfold. Doors you once thought were locked, sealed, or out of reach suddenly begin to open before you. Not with force, not with striving, but with the effortless grace that appears when heaven has already gone ahead. These doors are not ordinary opportunities. They are divine openings that activate only in the presence of obedience and spiritual alignment. Some doors open like sunrise, slowly, steadily, with growing clarity. Others open like a breath, quietly, gently, without drawing attention. And some open like a sudden storm, a breakthrough that arrives with power, shaking everything that once held you back. But all of them have one thing in common: They were impossible, until now. There were things you could not step into before, because your spirit was not ready. The timing was not aligned. The warfare was not broken. And the angels had not cleared the way. But now, you walk into rooms heaven prepared long before your name was ever spoken on earth. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 9, I am the door. Whoever enters through me will be saved. They will come in and find safe pasture. These new openings are not random, they are purposeful. They are not temporary, they are strategic. They are not fragile, they are fortified by heaven itself. And as these doors begin to open around you, you start feeling a quiet, holy confidence rising within you. It's like walking into a garden that you used to only dream about, one where every flower has been planted with intention and every pathway leads to something meaningful. You realize that what once felt like years of delay was actually years of divine preparation. Some doors open in your mindset revelation you once struggled to understand suddenly flows like water. Some doors open in your relationships. New connections feel heaven-sent and purposeful. Some doors open in your calling. Opportunities match your spirit rather than drain it. Some doors open in your healing. Old wounds lose their power without you even trying. Some doors open in your confidence. You begin stepping boldly instead of apologetically. You notice the difference, not only in what opens, but in how it opens. Nothing feels forced anymore. Nothing requires you to diminish yourself. Nothing demands you betray your spirit. Nothing calls you back to old identities. These doors honor who you're becoming. They welcome the mantle you carry. They recognize the transformation that has taken place within you, and as you walk through them, you begin to sense something even deeper. Your journey is not just about receiving, but about giving. Every door you enter becomes a place where your voice, your wisdom, your faith, and your presence make a difference. You become light entering dark rooms, clarity entering confusion, peace entering chaos. Chosen one. While heaven is opening doors for you, I want to speak to your heart gently and sincerely. Spaces like this one, these messages, these words, this spiritual covering are like lighthouses. They guide people through storms they don't speak about. They shine where darkness tries to overwhelm. They stand tall even when winds of life blow fiercely. If this lighthouse has ever guided you, strengthened you, awakened something in you, then consider supporting it so that the light can keep burning for others too. Not from obligation, not from pressure, never that, but the same way someone tends a flame they rely on during long nights. Your like, your share, your subscription, even your donation, they are not transactions. They are acts of gratitude, acts of partnership, acts of saying, this light matters. Keep shining it. Enshrin. Your support becomes part of the story that lights another person's path. It becomes oil in the lamp of this mission. It becomes water to the seed planted in hearts you may never meet. But hear this clearly, whether you give or not, heaven's doors for you do not close. Your value does not waver. Your worth is not measured by contribution, but by identity, and you are chosen. Always. Still, if you feel that gentle nudge, that inner warmth, that quiet pull to help sustain the space that has poured into you, honor it in your own way, with your engagement, with your presence, with your generosity, whatever form it takes. Because just as heaven opens doors for you, sometimes you become the door heaven opens for someone else. And as you walk through these new openings, remember this truth deeply. Doors that God opens cannot be closed, blocked, reversed, or stolen. What is placed before you in this season is yours because heaven ordained it. Walk boldly, walk gratefully, walk with expectation. The way has been cleared. The doors have opened. Now, you step through. As you step through the doors, heaven has opened before you. Chosen one. Something begins to rise inside you. Something weighty. Something holy. Something unmistakably divine. It is not excitement. It is not adrenaline. It is the weight of glory, settling upon your life like a mantle woven from both light and responsibility. This glory does not come as a blinding burst, but as a steady, expanding presence that fills every part of you. You begin to feel more grounded, more anchored, more aware of who you are and what heaven has placed within you. The glory does not inflate your ego, it humbles you. It sobers you. It strengthens you in ways you did not realize you needed. You start to notice this weight of glory in how your perspective shifts. Things that once overwhelmed you no longer carry the same power. Distractions lose their shine. Empty conversations drain you faster. Superficial desires fall away. Your appetite changes spiritually, emotionally, mentally. You hunger for what is real. You long for what is holy. You crave what feeds your purpose. And this transformation is not accidental. The glory of God rests only on those who have been refined enough to carry it and surrendered enough to wield it correctly. The prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 14, "For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea." That glory, yes, that very glory is touching your life now, not in abstract form, not as a concept, but as a living presence shaping your spirit. You notice it in your thoughts first. Your mind begins to align effortlessly with truth. Old lies lose their grip. Self-doubt shrinks. Clarity becomes your companion. The voice of fear, once loud, now sounds distant and foreign. You can tell that heaven has begun rewiring the way you think, preparing you to operate from a higher spiritual dimension. Then you feel it in your emotions. The storms that once tore you apart now crash against a foundation much stronger than before. You process pain differently. You navigate conflict differently. You recognize manipulation faster. You discern spiritual atmospheres with accuracy you never had in the past. This is what glory does. It doesn't just lift you, it stabilizes you. And then, the glory begins touching your decisions. You hesitate less because your spirit is aligned. You choose wisely because discernment is sharp. You move confidently because heaven has made your steps firm. It is not arrogance, it is alignment. Not pride, it is presence. Not pressure, it is purpose. The weight of glory is not meant to crush you, but to transform you. It presses out what is false. It reveals what is real. It awakens what has been dormant. It gives you spiritual authority, not authority built on personality or performance. En divine connexion. You begin walking with a stillness that unsettles darkness, a clarity that confuses the enemy, a purity that exposes false intentions, a strength that comes from knowing heaven is not just watching you, heaven is backing you. The glory within you becomes a shield. It becomes a compass. It becomes a fire that refuses to dim, and as it grows, you notice that people respond to you differently, not because you're louder or more impressive, but because the presence you carry speaks louder than your voice ever could. Some will be drawn to it, sensing peace around you that they cannot explain. Others may feel uncomfortable, not because you have done anything wrong, but because the light in you confronts the shadows in them. This too is part of the glory. Carrying the weight of glory means you cannot hide anymore. You cannot shrink to make others comfortable. You cannot return to who you were. You cannot pretend you do not know what heaven has revealed. Your life is shifting from surviving to embodying, from enduring to carrying. You are becoming a vessel of presence, a living reflection of divine intention. There will be moments when the glory feels heavy, moments when you feel stretched, moments when the calling feels bigger than your strength. But even then, you will sense heaven near you, closer than breath, reminding you that glory never rests where grace does not sustain. You were prepared for this. You were refined for this. You were chosen for this. And now, the weight of glory rises upon you, not as a burden, but as confirmation. You are stepping into a realm where your life becomes a testimony of what heaven can do through someone who simply said yes. And the heavens watch with anticipation, for the glory placed upon you is only beginning to unfold. With the weight of glory rising upon you, chosen one, something else begins to unfold, something swift, something undeniable, something that feels like the air around you is shifting forward, even when you are standing still. It is acceleration, divine acceleration, the kind that does not come from striving, forcing, or pushing, but from heaven's timing, finally aligning with your obedience. You begin to sense it in the subtle ways. Life starts moving differently. Conversations that used to take months now progress in days. Ideas that once felt foggy suddenly become clear. Opportunities that were stagnant begin breathing again. Delays collapse. Cycles break. Momentum builds all around you. It feels almost as if heaven itself has placed a hand on your back, not to push you forcefully, but to guide you gently, steadily, unmistakably forward. You are not running, you are being carried by spiritual current, as though the path beneath your feet has turned into a river and your steps glide with ease. But this is not random movement, this is sacred acceleration. According to what is revealed in the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 13, the days are coming when the reaper will be overtaken by the plowman and the planter by the one treading grapes. And acceleration is when what should come later arrives now, when what should take long becomes sudden, when what was stuck begins to move with supernatural speed. And, chosen one, you are entering that very season. You begin to feel heaven compressing time around you, redeeming what was lost, restoring what was delayed, reviving what was buried. Even the wounds you thought would take years to heal begin closing more quickly than you imagined. Emotional heaviness begins lifting faster. Discernment sharpens suddenly. Your spirit matures rapidly, almost as if the years you spent suffering in silence are now being returned to you in multiplied form. Acceleration often feels strange at first, because your mind tries to catch up to what your spirit already understands. You may find yourself pausing, asking, "Is this really happening?" Because the ease feels so different from the battles you were accustomed to fighting. But hear this, when heaven accelerates you, old struggles no longer apply. Where there was once resistance, there is flow. Where there was once confusion, there is clarity. Where there was once waiting, there is movement. And as acceleration increases, you begin to realize that the things you prayed for, hoped for, and cried out for are not just coming, they are running toward you. Heaven is not simply answering your prayers, heaven is overtaking them. You may notice alignment happening in unexpected places. People you needed suddenly enter your life. People who hindered you suddenly exit without explanation. Ideas you ignored return with power. The dreams you once buried start breathing again. And the speed of it all catches you off guard, not because you're unworthy, but because suffering conditioned you to expect delay. Now, heaven is showing you that obedience attracts speed, purity attracts blessing, and alignment attracts movement. Acceleration also brings separation. The pace you are moving at now will be too fast for some people, not because you are better, never that, but because your spiritual timeline is no longer synced with those who choose stagnation. Heaven is not slowing you down to keep everyone comfortable. Heaven is quickening your steps because destiny requires you to move. You may feel the shift in your emotions too. Decisions that used to take months now feel obvious. Conversations that once confused, you now feel clear. Doors you once questioned now feel unmistakably wrong or unmistakably right. Heaven removes hesitation in seasons of acceleration because doubt wastes time. And, chosen one, acceleration does not only happen around you, it happens within you. Your intuition sharpens. Your resilience strengthens. Your inner peace solidifies. Your wisdom deepens. Your courage rises. You wake up different. You think different. You move different. You choose different. And it is not because you changed yourself. It is because heaven shifted you into spiritual velocity. But acceleration must be acknowledged, honored, and sealed spiritually. Heaven responds to recognition. So right now, in agreement with the speed heaven is releasing over your life, declare your alignment. Comment 888 below. Not for superstition, not for ritual, but as a prophetic sign that you recognize heaven's movement and you welcome the pace God is setting for your life. Chosen one. Acceleration has begun. The slow seasons are ending. The heavy seasons are lifting. The waiting seasons are closing. Heaven is moving quickly. And now, so are you. Acceleration shifts everything around you. Chosen one. But it also shifts who is allowed to walk with you. And as your pace increases, something beautiful, yet deeply sacred begins to unfold. Heaven starts sending you the people who are aligned with your calling, your growth, and your assignment. These are not casual acquaintances, not temporary connections, not surface-level companions. These are appointed allies, souls who carry keys to the doors you're meant to enter, voices that strengthen your spirit, and hearts tuned to the same divine frequency as yours. You sense this shift first through separation. People who once felt central suddenly feel distant. Conversations that once flowed now feel forced. Environments that used to comfort you now feel spiritually suffocating. This is not rejection, it is realignment. Heaven removes who cannot go with you, so that your hands are free to receive who can. And then, without warning, appointed allies begin appearing not by coincidence, but by divine timing. They show up in moments where your spirit is stretching, transitioning, or awakening. They do not drain you. They do not confuse you. They do not silence your calling. Instead, their presence feels familiar, even if you have just met them, as though your spirits recognize one another from assignments written long before your birth. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Zechariah, chapter 8, verse 6, declaring, "If it is marvelous in the eyes of the remnant at that time, will it also be marvelous in my eyes, declares the Lord Almighty." 1. Each arrival is intentional. Each connection is divine. Each relationship is a piece of the destiny puzzle heaven is assembling around you. One of the first signs that an ally is heaven-sent is the peace you feel in their presence, not comfort based on personality, but spiritual harmony. Your spirit rests around them because your mantles recognize one another. Appointed allies don't compete with you, they complement you. They don't provoke insecurity, they call forth potential. They don't distract you, they focus and refine you. You begin to see why so many relationships in your past were difficult, draining, or detached. Those connections were never meant to carry the weight of where you're going. They were part of your story, but not part of your destiny. Your spirit outgrew certain environments long before your heart accepted it. But now that acceleration has begun. Heaven refuses to let old connections slow you down. Appointed allies bring clarity. They challenge your doubts. They confirm your intuition. They amplify your discernment. They speak truth even when it stings. They understand battles others dismiss. And they recognize your calling even when you try to minimize it. You begin to realize that destiny is never fulfilled alone. Even the strongest chosen ones need alliance, agreement, and spiritual companionship. Moses needed Aaron. David needed Jonathan. Esther needed Mordecai. Paul needed Silas. Jesus himself walked with 12. Your assignment requires alignment, and heaven is orchestrating it now. As these appointed allies appear, you may feel exposed at first. Being seen at a spiritual level is unfamiliar. Being understood without explanation is rare. But this exposure is safe because heaven designed these connections for your growth, not your harm. Your conversations with them feel like unlocking rooms inside yourself you didn't know existed. You speak with depth, not defense. You listen with openness, not fear. You share freely, not cautiously. And they handle your calling with care because they recognize its weight. But appointed allies are not only additions, they are activators. Their presence awakens dormant gifts. Their words ignite forgotten dreams. Their faith fuels your courage. Their journey inspires your own. Their strength covers your weakness. Their insight completes missing pieces of your assignment. You begin to recognize that some breakthroughs heaven promised will come through partnership, not isolation. Some victories require two voices in agreement. Some doors open only when two mantles align. Some revelations come through shared discernment. Some battles are won faster when fought together. And as you reflect on your journey, you realize that heaven never intended you to walk alone. The loneliness you once endured was preparation for connection you needed to learn your identity before joining with others who carry destiny. Now, appointed allies are stepping into your life like stars forming constellations, each shining individually, but together creating divine patterns that guide your path. And as they come, you feel a shift within yourself. You are not only being supported, you are being strengthened. You are being sharpened. You are being aligned. You are being positioned for what comes next. These allies are not random. They are a sign, a confirmation, a divine arrangement, a testimony that heaven is preparing you for something far greater than anything you have walked through so far. Cherish them, recognize them, discern them, and allow their presence to elevate you into the next dimension of your calling. As the appointed allies gather around you, chosen one, you begin to notice another profound shift. Your voice begins to change. Not the sound of it, not its volume, but its authority. There is a depth forming within you that cannot be faked. A power that does not come from confidence training, personality, or charisma, but from heaven's endorsement on your life. Your words begin to carry weight, not because you try to make them heavy, but because the mantle resting upon you makes them unignorable. This transformation is subtle at first. You notice people listening more intently when you speak. You notice conversations shift when you share even a small insight. You notice your presence itself changes atmospheres before you say a single word. It almost feels strange how your voice now carries something that pierces, awakens, stirs, and sometimes convicts those around you. You start to realize that the authority rising in your voice is not loud, it is true. And truth, when spoken from a vessel aligned with heaven, carries a frequency that penetrates beyond emotions and lands directly in the spirit. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians, chapter 1, verse 5. Our gospel came to you not simply with words, but also with power, with the Holy Spirit, and with deep conviction. This is the shift you feel now. Your voice no longer functions as expression alone, it functions as assignment. You are not just speaking, you are releasing. You are not just conversing, you are shifting. You are not just sharing, you are awakening. Because when heaven places authority on someone, their voice becomes a tool, a sword, and a signal all at once. You begin to notice the authority rising in different ways. Your words become precise. You no longer ramble. You no longer spill your spirit everywhere. You choose your words with intention because you sense each one carries impact. You speak less. But when you do speak, truth lands powerfully. Your silence becomes intentional. You stop explaining yourself where explanation has no purpose. You stop defending yourself in places that cannot understand your assignment. You stop wasting breath on what is beneath your calling. Your silence itself becomes a boundary and a weapon. Your discernment guides your conversations. You now recognize when a word should be spoken softly or firmly, when you should speak or stay silent, when you should encourage or confront, when you should hold your peace or release revelation. Your voice is no longer reactive, it is strategic. Your presence speaks, even before you do. People feel something when you enter a room. They cannot explain it, but they sense clarity, stability, or conviction emanating from you. This is not pride, it is spiritual authority. The kind that radiates from those who have walked through fire and come out forged. And with this newfound authority, you begin to understand why your old seasons felt so suffocating, why your voice was often dismissed, why your words were misunderstood, why your insights were ignored. Heaven was protecting your authority until you were mature enough to carry it without distortion. Authority without identity becomes dangerous, so heaven waited until your spirit stabilized before unlocking the power of your voice. Now that the refinement has taken place, Your voice can finally function at full capacity. You notice people come to you with deeper questions, as though they instinctively know you, carry answers. They confide in you. They seek clarity from you. And even when they do not fully grasp what they feel around you, their spirit recognizes it. This one carries something holy. Your voice now holds the weight of your journey, the storms you endured, the battles you survived, the nights you cried and still obeyed, the chains you shattered, the yes you gave heaven when no one was watching. All of that becomes fuel behind your words. That is why your authority is rising. It is not borrowed. It is not imitated. It is not manufactured. It is earned through surrender, shaped by obedience, and activated by heaven. And with this authority comes a new layer of responsibility. Your words can heal, but they can also expose. Your voice can comfort, but it can also confront. Your presence can uplift, but it can also disrupt what is false. You begin to understand that authority is not just a spiritual gift, it is a stewardship. Heaven does not amplify voices that will misuse influence. Heaven amplifies voices that have been purified enough to speak with integrity. This is why the old version of you had to die. This is why old wounds had to heal. This is why self-doubt had to break. This is why hesitation had to crumble. This is why your discernment had to sharpen. Your voice is rising because your spirit is finally aligned with its assignment. And now, chosen one, your words carry a holy gravity. They can awaken sleeping callings, break mental chains, shift spiritual atmospheres, and reveal truth where deception has taken root. You are stepping into a season where your voice will not only communicate, it will carry revelation, carry wisdom, carry presence, carry authority, carry destiny. You are no longer speaking from survival, you are speaking from purpose. This is the sound of a chosen one emerging fully. And now, chosen one, as your voice rises with authority, as angels war on your behalf, as clarity sharpens and destiny draws near, the spiritual atmosphere around you begins to thicken. Something fierce, something ancient, something unmistakably divine. You can sense it, not just around you, but through you. Heaven is preparing for a battle that ensures the promise over your life will not be stolen, delayed, or diminished. This is not a battle you fight alone. This is not a war of flesh or circumstance. This is not an emotional storm or a temporary struggle. This is angelic warfare, angels contending over the promise assigned to your life. The breakthrough tied to your obedience. The territory heaven is leading you into. The moment you stepped into alignment, the moment your mantle settled upon you, the moment your voice began to carry weight, darkness noticed. And now, heavenly forces have stepped forward, not because you are fragile, but because your destiny is too valuable to be left unguarded. As was spoken through the prophet Joel, chapter 3, verse 16, the Lord will roar from Zion and thunder from Jerusalem, earth and heavens will tremble. But He is our refuge. This roar, this trembling, this fierce protection, that is what surrounds you now. You may feel sudden pressure in the spirit. You may sense old fears attempting to resurface. You may notice unexpected resistance. You may discern tension in the unseen realm. But hear this with absolute certainty. These are not signs of defeat. These are the tremors of warfare that heaven has already begun to win on your behalf. You are stepping into territory too sacred for the enemy to surrender quietly. You are walking into a promise hell hoped you would never reach. You are rising into identity darkness tried desperately to bury. Every breakthrough comes with a battle, and every battle signals one truth: you are close. This season feels different because the stakes are different. Your discernment is sharper. Your awareness is heightened. Your spirit is alert. You can almost feel the clash in the atmosphere, angels pushing back the forces that once pushed you, angels dismantling cycles that once imprisoned you, angels silencing voices that once tormented you. They fight not because you are weak, but because you are too important to leave unprotected. You begin to sense how strategic this warfare is. Little things that once distracted you suddenly hold no power. Old wounds no longer reopen. Temptations lose their pull. Your reactions, once impulsive, now rise from a place of spiritual maturity. This is what happens when angels war for your promise. Your spirit strengthens, even while the battle rages. And though the warfare is real, heaven is louder. Your steps are guarded. Your mind is protected. Your destiny is fortified. Yet, in moments like these, chosen one, voices like mine, voices that speak life, clarity, alignment matter more than ever. These messages become like lanterns lit along a dark mountain trail, guiding your steps while angels clear the path ahead. If this lantern has ever brightened your night, if these words have ever steadied your spirit, if this space has ever reminded you who you are, then I invite you gently, sincerely, to help keep the flame burning. Your like, your share, your subscription, even your donation, they become oil to the lamp, wood to the fire, wind to the embers, ensuring that this light does not dim for others walking through darkness. And your support is never taken lightly. It is honored. It is sacred. It becomes part of the warfare. Heaven is waging on your behalf because generosity opens doors that resistance cannot close. But whether you give or not, whether you support or simply receive, I know this: you are valued, seen, welcomed, and chosen. Before this section closes, heaven asks for one act of recognition, a declaration that you understand angels are fighting for what is yours, and you choose to remain aligned and unshaken. Comment: stand firm, below. 2 words that become your agreement with heaven. 2 words that become your posture in warfare. 2 words that declare, I will not retreat. I will not fear. I will not lose what God has promised me. Because chosen one, the angels are fighting for your promise, and the victory is already unfolding. As the angelic warfare intensifies around you, chosen one, and the promises over your life begin to take form. Something profound and almost startling awakens within your steps. It is not emotion. It is not adrenaline. It is not the temporary surge of motivation that comes and goes like shifting winds. No, this is something far deeper, far more ancient, far more rooted in who heaven designed you to be. Your steps become unstoppable. You don't move with haste, yet you move with certainty. You don't rush, yet you advance. You don't force open doors, yet doors open. You don't strive to prove yourself, yet your presence speaks louder than your words. What once drained you now fuels you. What once intimidated you now seems small. What once distracted you now feels irrelevant. Your steps are not heavy, they are grounded. Your steps are not loud, they are authoritative. Your steps are not hurried, they are aligned. And this shift doesn't happen because circumstances have improved. It happens because you have. Transformation on the inside always precedes movement on the outside. As was spoken in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 26, ponder the path of your feet, and let all your ways be securely and firmly established before God. This establishment, this firmness, this stability, that is what you feel rising now. You begin walking with a sense of inner leadership, not of others, but of your own spirit. You no longer react to every whisper of fear or every flicker of doubt. You no longer internalize chaos that doesn't belong to you. You no longer allow voices, external or internal, to steer you off course. Your steps become steady because your spirit has matured. Your steps become precise because your discernment has sharpened. Your steps become brave because your faith has deepened. Your steps become unstoppable because heaven is guiding them. And you feel the difference in the way you move through your days. You wake with clarity. You navigate with intention. You speak with purpose. You choose with wisdom. You rest with assurance. This is not the shaky, fragile version of you who questioned every decision. This is not the weary version of you who carried battles alone. This is not the confused version of you who doubted your worth or your calling. This is the refined version, the aligned version, the awakened version, the chosen version. You recognize now that the stops, delays, and stagnation of your past were not signs of weakness, they were signs of construction. Heaven was building strength where fear once lived. Heaven was laying foundations where instability once ruled. Heaven was expanding your capacity where limitation once held you captive. And now, with the construction complete, your steps move forward without hesitation. You begin to notice that obstacles do not hit you the same way anymore. What once felt like mountains now feels like stepping stones. What once consumed your emotional energy now barely shakes you. What once felt like spiritual storms now becomes opportunities to exercise your authority. Your responses are no longer drawn from survival mode, they emerge from identity. You are no longer running from anything. You are walking toward everything heaven has designed for you. And with every unstoppable step you take, the atmosphere around you shifts. Opportunities align. People notice. Heaven responds. Darkness retreats. The enemy recognizes the danger of a chosen one who knows their authority. And you finally, fully, are becoming the kind of person the enemy hoped you would never awaken into. Your stability becomes a weapon. Your peace becomes a shield. Your clarity becomes a compass. Your obedience becomes acceleration. Your identity becomes armor. This is why the warfare rose so intensely, because heaven knew the moment you stepped into this version of yourself, nothing could stop what was coming. You feel this truth deep in your bones. You are not just moving forward, you are advancing destiny. You are not just progressing, you are expanding spiritually. You are not just stepping, you are marching with heaven's reinforcement behind you. Your walk becomes prophetic, every step declares, I will not retreat, I will not break, I will not be denied what heaven has decreed. And the closer you get to the fulfillment of the promises spoken over your life, the more unstoppable your steps become, not because the path is easy, but because your spirit is anchored. Anchor in purpose, anchored in calling, anchored in identity, anchored in glory, anchored in God. This is the walk of a chosen one who has been prepared, refined, guarded, awakened, and appointed. And now, chosen one, you move with the certainty of someone who finally understands. Your steps are unstoppable because heaven has established them. Your destiny is unstoppable because God has written it. Your progress is unstoppable because angels are accompanying you. And what is ahead of you is far greater than anything behind you. As your steps become unstoppable, chosen one, a quiet yet powerful ascension begins to take place within you, an elevation not built on external success, but on spiritual maturity, identity, and divine endorsement. You begin to rise into a dimension of purpose that feels both unfamiliar and deeply natural, as though your soul has always known you would reach this place, even when your mind doubted it. This rising is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is not about being seen. It is about being crowned inwardly, spiritually, eternally. A coronation that takes place not before crowds, but before heaven. You sense it in the new weight of peace resting on you. A peace that doesn't waver, even when circumstances fluctuate. You sense it in the clarity that now guides your thoughts. The way confusion no longer clouds your decisions the way it once did. You sense it in the confidence that emerges quietly, almost shyly, yet undeniably, a confidence not rooted in your ability, but in what heaven has placed upon you. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 32, "Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." You begin to notice how differently you stand, not in posture, but in presence. You no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You no longer hesitate to honor what God has placed in you. You no longer question whether you belong in the spaces heaven leads you into. Something inside you straightens, like a spine strengthened after years of bending under invisible burdens. You walk with the quiet dignity of someone who has survived fire, passed tests, endured breaking, embraced obedience, and emerged whole. This is what it means to be crowned. A crown is not made of gold alone. It is made of the battles you survived, the truth you embraced, the chains you broke, the yes you gave heaven when everything around you told you to quit. Every scar became a jewel. Every tear became a stone. Every trial became a shaping of the metal that now rests upon you. And as this crown settles spiritually upon your life, you begin to see with new eyes. What once looked like obstacles now look like assignments. What once felt like trials now feel like promotions. What once felt random now feels orchestrated. You start recognizing patterns of destiny, ways heaven has been weaving your journey into something beautiful, intentional, and deeply purposeful. You understand why the pain was deep, because the preparation was deep. You understand why the process was long, because your calling stretches far. You begin to feel heaven's trust, a rare thing, a sacred thing, a weighty thing. Heaven does not crown lightly. Heaven crowns those who endure. And you endured. This new dimension you are stepping into carries responsibility, not the kind that burdens or crushes, but the kind that empowers. You begin to influence without trying, simply by being aligned. You begin to speak with a clarity that pierces confusion. You begin to walk with a stability that strengthens others. You begin to shine with a light that confronts darkness silently, effortlessly, consistently. Chosen one. This is not a season of discovering your worth. This is a season of embodying it. Not a season of questioning your identity. This is a season of walking in it. Not a season of hoping for purpose. This is a season of executing it. You have shifted from preparation into activation, from waiting into doing, from learning into leading, from surviving into ruling. For the first time in a long time, you feel like your spirit fits inside your body. No more shrinking, no more apologizing, no more hiding, no more dimming your own light to comfort people threatened by it. This crown was not placed on you to be concealed. It was placed on you to be carried, and you carry it with humility because you remember the depth of the valleys you came from, and you carry it with strength because you know the battles fought to reach this height. And you carry it with reverence because you understand heaven entrusted it to you. This final elevation marks the transition between who you once were and who you are becoming. It marks the end of wandering and the beginning of reigning, not over people, but over your calling, your purpose, your spirit, your destiny. You are crowned, chosen, one not for show, but for assignment, not for status, but for service, not for pride, but for purpose. And now, as angels complete what your obedience began, as heaven seals what your journey has shaped, as your spirit rises into the fullness of your calling, you step boldly into the dimension prepared for you since the beginning of your existence. You are crowned for the next dimension, and nothing in heaven, earth, or hell can take from you what God Himself has placed upon your life. Chosen one, take a breath. Let everything you just walked through settle into your spirit like light sinking into deep water. You have journeyed through awakening, obedience, warfare, alignment, authority, and ascension, and heaven has witnessed every moment. What you carry now is not just revelation, but transformation. You are not the same person who began this journey. You are stronger, clearer, sharper, elevated. And as this message comes to a close, I want to speak to you gently, sincerely, from a place of honor. If these words have poured into you, if they've lifted you in moments of heaviness, if they've clarified what your spirit already knew but couldn't yet articulate, then let that be the reason you act now. A simple like helps the message reach another weary soul. A share becomes a lifeline to someone who needs this exact awakening. A thoughtful comment plants your agreement into the atmosphere and strengthens this community. A subscription ensures you never miss the next word heaven sends your way. Not pressure, just partnership. Not obligation, just alignment. Your engagement becomes part of the light that continues flowing outward. Chosen one. Thank you for walking this journey. Your story is only beginning.